Hello, my name is Andrea and my team is conformed by Alex, Axel, Ulises, and Frida. And our PIA will talk about the air pollution in the metropolitan area of Monterrey. The technological improvement of the transport has meant a greater comfort and efficiency in the service, but on the other hand, has led to a growth of the environmental and social impact associated with this activity, including the air pollution. In the metropolitan area of Monterrey, in the state of Nuevo León, in Mexico, there are currently more than 2 million vehicles which are causing a serious deterioration of the air quality. Also, we can include that there are industries that create and manufacture some hybrid cars, but not all the people can pay these cars. So we can infer that there are a lot of vehicles which are causing and producing a lot of CO2, that this is common a common element that they are causing the air pollution and deteriorating the air quality.
Okay, so cars and trucks are one of the most leading causes of air pollution. The passenger vehicles and heavy duty trucks are a major source of this pollution, which includes ozone, particulate matter, and other smoke forming emissions all around Monterrey. So, first of all, the trucks pollute. It's one of the most polluting factors nowadays in Monterrey. So, during all this video, with all the information we obtain investigating about concepts and percentages about the pollution in Monterrey, we can hypothesize that the vehicles are one of the most pollutant factors that affect into the oxygen. The health risks of air pollution are extremely serious. Poor air quality increases respiratory ailments like asthma and bronchitis, heightens of risk of life-threatening conditions like cancer and burdens our healthcare system with substantial medical costs. So the passenger vehicles are a major pollution contributor, producing significant amounts of nitrogen oxides, carbon monoxide, and other pollution. In the recent years in Monterrey, transportation contributed more than half of the carbon monoxide and nitrogen oxide, and almost a quarter of the hydrocarbons emitted in our air. At last, to making like a conclusion of our hypothesis, is that the pollution that the cars generate nowadays is that not only affects humans, it also affects the animals, the plants, so it affects all the living things.
Well, traditionally, the industry has been blamed as the main cause of environmental pollution, and although in fact it helps, today one of the main causes of air pollution in the MAM is the indiscriminate use of cars. Worldwide, motor vehicles are the main cause of air pollution in big cities. Motor vehicles are responsible for the following percentage that I'm going to talk about. Well, 90% of carbon monoxide, 75% of nitrogen oxides, 50% of hydrocarbons, 60% of inhalable particles, and 25% of sulfur dioxide. The management of programs to improve the air quality, called ProAir, constitute one of the main instruments developed to reverse the deterioration trends in the air quality in the main cities of Mexico. ProAir incorporates concrete measures for the abatement and control of polluting emissions, based on the relationships between emission of pollutants by sources that produce them, the impact causing the air quality, and the health of people. Some of the most serious consequences on human health associated with the presence of air pollutants. In the past month of December 2015, there were several days with reports of high levels of air pollution values greater than 100 in the Metropolitan Index of Air Quality in almost all of the metropolitan area of Monterrey, which should be a warning voice for citizens in the aggravation of the loss of the quality of the air we breathe. It's important to know that some of the most serious consequences on human health associated with the presence of air pollutants are the following: premature death, cancer, chronic bronchitis, exacerbation of asthma, chronic cough and other respiratory problems, and change in lung functions and premature aging of the lungs.
Air pollutants come in general from four sources. The first one, that is the fixed ones, can be industries and cars and trucks. The second one is the area ones, and that can be community services or activities. And the last one is the natural one, and that is soil erosion, among others. The second one can be ozone, and it is O3, and it is a secondary pollutant caused by the presence of nitrogen oxides, and it reacts with sunlight. It can cause lung pain and other symptoms in relation with the respiratory system. Monterrey is one of the most polluted cities in Latin America, just talking about air, but to this we assume the high levels of river pollution that the city is reaching. Pollution has been present through all the years in the city, but there is not a concrete plan to help fix this, and the industries doesn't help either. We can set an example of what happened in 2012 with the Iron Meléndez company that is part of the Vermont group, and this company caused a big leak in one of the most famous lake of Monterrey, and this leak contained high and dangerous pollutants. Pollution in Monterrey has been reaching high levels, and that should be a red flag for all citizens to start doing something now. Just in this year, we have activated the ambiental alert 3 times, and even a specialist says that we should be working on finding a solution now.
To conclude, we can say that this project was very interesting since we could get to investigate more about some different factors that we didn't even know in the past that affects pollution here in Monterrey, and we also get to discover how to reduce them. But first of all, we can say that our hypothesis was correct, but not at all, because yes, one of the main factors that affects pollution here in Monterrey
is the use of cars, but this is not the only main factors that we have, and in the way that we could get reinforced or make our hypothesis stronger, it was adding that the pollution also comes from industries, the resources, and that is commercial activities and services, and it also comes from natural sources such as soil erosion, among others. One way in which we can help to reduce the pollution is by avoiding buying disposable items and plastics that are not biodegradable. We can now know that in this year, the OXXO and 7-Elevens plastic bags were removed, and this was a very great step so that pollution can seem to get reduced. Also, other manner way is by using electric cars, but we know that not all people can afford this type of cars. So the best way that we found to solve this problem was that we can get to use shortcuts, so that not all people get to use the car around the city and just getting polluted. In also another way that we found out to reduce the pollution was making more security measurements in the industries.